Hey guys, it's Mike with another King Arthur's Legends Rise video. We're going to jump into the account today, see what kind of progress we made after our huge summoning session, trying to get those characters built up. After I did the polls yesterday, I did jump into the Coliseum and I realized that I did have enough. Where am I at here? Start season. Okay. I did have enough tokens in the clan shop or the arena shop to buy my first Sergius. So I did bring him onto the account. I do need to save up in the clan shop and work towards getting his flame relic, which I guess helps him out a lot with his crowd control abilities. So we're sitting right here for that flame relic in the clan shop. I'm only at 5,800, so I got quite a ways to go before I get that, but I'll be working on building him. And the relic that he does come with he speeds himself up and speeds the team up, so he does have the ability to start really working through that crowd control and bringing the basically making it where the enemy doesn't get a turn. So I need to build him with purpose, like I did with Morgan. Try to get him as fast as possible and make sure that all the aspects of his kit are functioning and see what stats I need to put on him to do that. But after pulling yesterday, we ended up getting Clarison. She's dialed in at 6-star, level 51, trying to get experience. We did get our chivalry dialed in for Sigrun. We got one chivalry right there. And then Sergius is 5-star 50. We are working on Nika as well. I do want to get her going. She's probably my priority 1 right now. I'm trying to get her advancement up. I got these guys dialed in and farm those, but I do need to get into the boar and get some of these mythic orbs here so I can get her to 6-star. Then I'll need to go over to Gorgos and get some experience to get her to 6-star 60, but I do feel like she is going to be a step up in support from my Turin as far as just an overall healer, and she just brings a lot of extras to the game, bringing up vigor and other things as well. So she is an absolute great champion. I'm very excited to have her on the team. I'm spinning her around. I didn't mean to do that. All right. And then we're over here with Lot. He also does some vigor up and some other unique things to his kit. So I would like to get him going 6-star 60. But right now I'm really trying to build my Gorgos team. So I've got Jarek down here working on his ability where he's pushing all those dots off of your team, and so I need a really strong healers and support champions to stay with him to do that. And then I've been working on Rosier to bring in her bleed, which is her dot mechanic over time doing damage. So that seems to be like that could be a pretty good team, but I haven't got all the pieces yet to stay alive, so I got a little bit of work to do ahead of me. That being said, I do really like the aspect of this game where you can sit on resources, so when you get a champion, you can get them dialed in pretty quickly. I mean, I got a lot of champions all at once, so I ran out of materials to advance champions along the way. But if you got a single legendary champion, chances are you could probably take them straight to 6 stars. I think I was able to do Clarissa straight to 6 stars. I'm trying to think if there was another person I brought up. Maybe not. Maybe it was just Clarissa, but I didn't even hesitate. And then after I brought her up, I realized, I'd kind of like to have done Nika instead. And then I realized I was kind of short on materials here. So, but no big deal. We'll just farm it up and we'll get her to 6-star probably within a day or so. But we're not getting any of the Valentine's Day currency for farming boar, and I wanted to talk about that because I found that and I thought it was pretty interesting. So if you come up here to your rubies or your shops, you go over to special shops. Right now for the next few days, and this is recorded a day or two in advance depending on when I launch the video, but there should be at least 6 or 7 days left here. In the Valentine's Day shop, you accumulate these guys, it seems like almost exclusively in story mode. I haven't really found them anywhere else in the game, but you might get more. But you can see I've been buying all kinds of stuff in here. Completely sold out of there. Got some stamina, got some powder. I want to get these guys over here. So 15,000 seems like a lot, but you get quite a bit, to be honest with you. So I've already purchased 2 of those. I've kind of worked through a lot of these different things. These brooch chests I think are probably pretty good. Getting in here, let's see here. We can get another 6 of those. I think that maxes that out. So that's going to help me upgrade skills, or I'm trying to remember what that helps upgrade. But the brooches are hard for me to come by right now, so I'm pretty excited about picking them up. But I do want to get the remainder of these 3 and then hopefully these 5 as well. So that's an interesting place to kind of pay attention to when these different events are going on. So in here you also have access to the Forbidden Dungeon normal and hard. It's kind of interesting. There's 2 different shops for that, but yeah, they're both here. And then your armament shop. This one here, I'm not entirely sure. I remember seeing these come in. I think they're part of events, but I did pick up some of these relics that we're going to pull and see if we can get lucky on the account there. But that's kind of an interesting spot where I saw that I was getting those tokens, but I didn't really realize why. And you get these little Valentine's Day boxes from Rosier. She sent them out, and it just seems like there's just random stuff in there. But you know, you never know what you get. So 100,000 gold, I'll take all day. I think that's the powder you need to switch substats on gear, so that's going to be super helpful. But I did press on and get us a 10-pack, a 20-pack, and a 20-pack of relics, so we're going to go ahead and pull those. Before we get into that, I have been going through story mode and just trying to 3-star. There's a lot of great resources down here on hard mode. On normal, I'm completely 3-starred all the way through to chapter 10, but on hard I have a little bit to work to do there. But I think through chapter 5, chapter 5, I was not able to beat him in 30 turns. It's like it literally takes me 32 or 33 turns. I've tried several times. Sometimes coming off of auto and just manually trying to do your AoE damage when it makes sense, and then also your single target damage when it makes sense, can be all the difference in the world. But you can see here you're getting 960 for finishing this. So if you're running 3 at a time, you're getting almost 3,000. So after 5-6 runs, you could buy one of those $15,000 rare or legendary heroes. So I mean, I think it's a pretty cool little system there. I didn't realize it wasn't going on in Gorgos or Boar, so I spent a lot of time, a lot of stamina in there, unfortunately. But we still have 8 days, so I can make up for it and buy what I want. But I have been going through and trying to get some of these extra rewards down here. I was also playing around in adventure mode, and I found something that might be helpful. And some of these levels, if you're missing something, like here on chapter 5, I'm missing a couple soul fragments, some treasure. I'm missing a lot over here. I should get back over here and see what's going on. But if you click on this little book down here, it'll kind of pull up some of the chapter information. Over here on collection, it'll show you the different things that you're missing. And if you click on them, somewhere in the ancient labyrinth, and it'll tell you kind of where to look. So that way when you go, so if we were looking at the ancient labyrinth, right, so we can come back out, we go in, enter adventure, and then we pull it up on our map, and we can find the ancient labyrinth on the map, which I remember that being a little bit tricky. But here you are right in here. So somewhere in here, that's where I need to be looking for that particular thing. Sometimes it's a lot more specific. Like it'll be like, oh, west of Endless Fields. And you just know, okay, I got to come over here to west of Endless Fields and look around. But I have found that to be extremely helpful going back through adventure mode and doing, let's see, your chapter menu. I got 100% on all of these guys. In a couple of these, the treasure chest where it pulls out enemies that you can only use specific characters on, or I just can't beat them yet because I haven't built those characters, so that's kind of where I'm stuck. But if you look at the rewards you get in here, like you're getting the rare chivalry ups all the way through here, so if you can 100% those, when you get in here, now you're getting the legendary chivalry ups. So you could probably, oh man, 10, get 10. I can't wait to get that done. So yeah, so I have some work to do in here, but it's definitely some great rewards to spend time to 100% those levels in adventure, and that should be pretty helpful as far as figuring out where you need to go. So I have run into my first standstill on upgrading. Right now I'm looking to accumulate iron, and I need 130,000 iron to be able to start moving forward in Plaza. So this is the very first time that I've actually run into this where I am unable to start an upgrade based on waiting for resources. I don't really know where to get this resource. If you know, put it in the comments below. I know that you can accumulate stuff in here, and I went through and I actually used it all, at least from what I could tell. And put it towards iron, but outside of that, I think I'm just waiting for this 1800 every few minutes that I get, and eventually it'll get to a point where I can do it. But let's jump in here. Let's go ahead and pull all these cards here. I always get excited when I'm filming because I don't want to pull these off camera, because if something great happens, I don't get to share it with you guys. So I'm sitting there waiting for that opportunity. So we got a rare, What is that, Kierden, I think? I'm not sure if that's going to be a good one or not. I actually haven't built her yet, so I'm not entirely sure. So here we're looking at rare 2 legendary. We're going to get 3 of them. So maybe we get somebody good here. 3 rares, Rosier, Frederick, and that is Cormac. So that is awesome. I think that'll push another chivalry for him. Rosier, I maybe already have a copy. So that might get another chivalry. If not, we're halfway there. All right, let's jump into this rare. This is just going to be a rare hero. So maybe a K would be great. I'd love to get a K. Who's this guy? Ban. Okay. So not that little. I would say that the visuals on this game are pretty small, especially for us old people with our eyes failing. It's like, wow, who is that out there? Let me get my monocle out. So if you are watching Netmarble, maybe make some of these icons a little bigger, and maybe the print would be helpful as well. It's not just young kids playing your game. Some of us are a little bit up there, so help us out a little bit. So we could actually get a legendary hero from here. Chances are we're getting an uncommon, but we're going to go ahead and pull that, or excuse me, there's a relic. So we could get a legendary relic from here. We got an uncommon, you know, that's how they work. So, and here we're going through summon a common through rare. So just kind of like the curve to know what I should hope for. So summon through rare, doesn't look like anybody that's going to be beneficial to us. Let's jump over into Lake Avalon and pull some relics. We've got the flame relic here. I'm trying to think, it'd be amazing to get Sergius's flame relic. We do have a, we're not going to quite make it to pity, but we're going to pull these guys and see what we can get, which is kind of a fun aspect. And almost feels like the relics are a little harder to come by than the champions, which I guess stands to reason because there's 3 relics for every champion, so their pool is much bigger. Boars, we got the fire relic. I'm not sure if that's going to be a good one or not, but I'm all about just collecting. At this point, if I can get the things on my account, at some point it may make sense to use it. And when I'm building that character, I can look at it and say, okay, this is the relic I actually want to put some energy into. I think that completes my set for Sarah. I think we have her frost relic and her fire, and I think she starts with her storm. So I have all 3 of her relics, which is kind of cool, I'm pretty sure. It is kind of a lot to keep track of, trying to figure out which relic you're using for who and all that. So that's pretty cool. We got a lot of new relics in here, and then right away you can go ahead down here and actually summon the relic. I'm going to go ahead and sit tight on that. I haven't gotten to a point where I'm actually selling relics yet. It makes me a little nervous because I haven't really got that system dialed in. I don't want to sell something that I might need later. So I haven't really played with that. But there's a lot of ways you can buy stuff in that area too that would benefit the account. So we got those guys. We're going to go ahead and skip that. We've got, is that Ban? No, who is that? It is Ban. All right, that little tiny face. I'm trying to put them together. So we got Ban. That's a new one for us. We also got Isolde there. It looks like one we already had though, because otherwise it would show up as new. So that's pretty good. So we got some stuff going on there in the flame relics. Let's jump over to the frost relics. On the frost, we'd really like to get Morgan on the frost relic here, if we were fortunate enough to get a legendary relic. But there's a couple in the frost area that are actually really good. So there's probably a lot in here that can help my account out that I don't even know about. So that's pretty exciting. We get 2 rares. We're going to go ahead and skip through that and see who our rares are. That's Kierden again. I've been really fortunate with her. I pull her a lot, and I seem to get all of her stuff. Isolde there again with the frost. I think she may start with the frost. It could be the storm though. But it's not new either way. But we did get a couple new ones here for Douglas, and I'm not sure who that is. But we'll keep on keeping on. Really hope to see some gold in this. Yeah, it's just blue. Just blue. That's all right. All right, we got 2 of them though. Let's go ahead and skip ahead and see what we get out of there. So we got another frost for Cormac. That's actually pretty cool. I don't think it benefits me at all. It's just going to be something to sell. Getting duplicate relics doesn't really help you out as far as I know. But we did get a new one for Eowyn or Arden. So that's actually pretty cool because she is a great support champion. So that might be one of her better relics. I don't know. But now we have it on the account so we can play with it. So that's exciting. And last but not least, let's jump into the Storm relics here. We're going to pull this 10-pack and see if we can get lucky. We have gotten 0 legendary. Ooh, see, you just got to talk a little trash and then the game comes through for you. So we're going to be getting a legendary relic out of here. Hopefully something new and fun. Morgan's Storm relic is also pretty intriguing. I have seen some stuff in there. We're going to go through one by one so we can see this legendary relic pop up. I want to see the animation here. Book of Storms for Iwarit. All right, I don't have Iwarit, but I've heard really good things. My brother actually pulled her, and she seems like a pretty solid champion. I've seen a lot of excitement around her, so hopefully I can pull her at some point in time, but we do have a relic for her when it becomes time. I feel like the animation was a little bit lackluster there on the legendary, but that's okay. When you pull the champion, I think they do a great job with that champion coming out and going through those animations. And seeing how we're in here, let's go ahead and pull some normal summons here. We got a 10-pack we can roll through real quick. Can't really get a whole lot of greatness out of here. Maybe some blue, but we did not get blue. So we got, we're still building him. No Jarretts though. I actually am getting a little further into my Jarrett, but I do need some chivalry there. So he does seem to be starting to put together something for Gorgos. Getting all those dots off your team, all those burns just do a lot of damage. On the special summons, let's see here. We do have quite a few special summons. We're a little ways from pity, but I say we go for it. Let's give it a shot. If we don't have enough legendaries on the account we're working on, let's go ahead and try again and see who else we can get. Not giving us it yet. Maybe blue, and no, we're staying with blue. But try to get some folks for chivalry on the account is going to be huge. I really would like to build out my K. That would be incredible. This guy here is banned. Seen his face quite a bit. I think this is Nicholas. Yeah, so we got some work going on there. Let's pull another 10-pack, complete that out. Hopefully it won't push us all the way to pity. Hopefully not to pity. I think we're going to pity. We're going to pity. That's all right. So the nice thing with this game, pity 60. It's not obnoxiously bad. So that's kind of a nice aspect. You can see progress coming around your account. So here's a Jarrett right there, looking pretty good. Anguish is going to be a great one, and then Accolone as well. Working on. I haven't started building Accolone yet, but I am working on my Jarrett. I am working on my Anguish. I think it's pretty cool down here. It'll tell you where you are on your chivalry for all these characters. So you see I'm on chivalry level 6 over here, 5 on the uncommons. So some of these guys are really coming together for me. But we are on chivalry level 1 on my Anguish. So that's going to be a big win there, getting him up. All right, and we are 8 away from pity. So we're going to go ahead and pull. I'm not sure if this is actually the best use for rubies. I definitely feel like it's probably the most fun, so that's why I do it. But I think that stacking these rubies up so that you can buy stamina during events and other things probably is a smarter way to go. But I've never been a super smart player. I look for the fun. I'm here for the smiles. I'm here for the dopamine. Here we go with a legendary pull. Can we get 2? That'd be pretty amazing. All right, we got 1. We got a rare, so that's pretty good. Let's see who we get. I would love to see a Gillian. I would love to see a Bedivere, a Guinevere. I'm trying to think. Guinevere might be my number 1 I'd like right now, just because I'm struggling with Master of Apocalypse. Vengeance only begets more vengeance. Okay, so we got another Morgan. So Morgan, that puts me on chivalry level 2 for Morgan. So that's not a bad thing at all. And she is a jack of all trades. Like, she does so much everywhere in the game. So having her chivalry up is not a bad thing. I do think it's kind of cool how good you feel pulling a duplicate legendary in this game. Like, you actually are pretty excited about it. Right now in the game, it's kind of be a little more fun to get new ones just because there's so many opportunities to improve my account. So getting folks that I already have is a little bit less exciting. but later on getting duplicates of champions. Like I got a duplicate Sigrun already, so she's on Chivalry level 1. Morgan now will be on level 2. I think that's about it as far as duplicates I've pulled. But as far as duplicates go, I think she's one of the better duplicates to get over time to get her chivalry up, and she's just going to absolutely be a beast for me. So that's pretty good. On the rares in the game, I pulled all the rares in the game, so there are no more new characters for me to get. I do really like it in here where it shows you the relics that you have for that character. So you can see on Nicholas is the only rare character that I have all 3 relics. So I have a lot of work to do in here to figure out, you know, different relics to help. I did get the Frost relic or the Storm relic for Arthur. One of his relics has an AoE ability, I'm pretty sure, that hits pretty hard. It makes him a little more usable. Here we got Gwen there, Luke, Finn. I got quite a few actually in here where I have all of their options. I won't scroll down. There it goes. I don't know. We're glitching out over here. And then on the commons, I don't know if there's any commons in the game worth building. I haven't really looked into it too much, but building commons is actually, it doesn't require a lot of resources. So at some point in time, once you get your champions all dialed in 6-star 60, it's going to make sense to start working them up. You jump into our heroes here, grab Morgan, grab the chivalry. We're going to go ahead and assign our new copy in there. What do we get on this level 2? Maligning Vortex, skill enhanced, attach gauge reduction by 15%. So this is almost the primary reason I'm using her, is just speed and attack gauge reduction, and we're getting an extra 15% now, so that's going to be absolutely huge for us. So that is a really good pull for that chivalry. I'm pretty excited about that. I would like to talk about a little bit on this chivalry. I think it's actually a really cool aspect of this game that you can't use duplicate champions. In the previous games, like specifically Raid, I always was nervous and hesitant to actually put a champion into another, like basically feed them into themselves to get their +1 through 4 rating or whatever the case was, just because you could use 2 of them at the same time. And so you never knew like what meta might come up where you needed 2 Trundas or you needed 2 Ignatiuses or something along those lines where you're like, well, would I rather have 1 +1 Ignatius or would I rather have 2 standard, you know? And then once you make that decision, it's done and there's nothing you can do about it. With this game, it takes that decision completely off the table. There's nothing that makes me feel bad about putting that Morgan into Chivalry 2 because there's no way I can run 2 Morgans side by side. So I don't have to make that decision. It doesn't give me that kind of that weird feeling of like, did I make the right choice? It's just built into the way the game plays where it's like, okay, you know, I'm looking to get Morgan up to level 10. At a certain point, you can actually trade these stones back in. I think you end up getting these, but I haven't gotten there yet because I don't have anybody on Chivalry level 10. Cormac, he's my furthest along now. We do have 2 copies of him. We're going to go up to Chivalry level 9. So Cormac is my closest champion to maxing out, which is pretty exciting because he smacks, especially with that ice relic. I did use all of these guys on him, which helped me advance him along pretty far. Hindsight, I kind of wish I would have put him into K. I think K, getting to this 8th Chivalry, specifically in Arena, but also, I mean, it just in waves and everything else, I think that she would do so much work for me. So that is a priority focus of me now. As soon as I get these in, I am going to be building K to Chivalry level 8. But, you know, you learn as you go. And I don't think this was a bad choice. Like, by all means, I think Cormac is a great champion. I'm going to be happy to have him maxed out. But I think first and foremost, it probably would have made sense to go with K first. I was going to make a mention, too, now that I'm a dirty pay-to-win player. There are other aspects of the game that do seem like they're a great value. So like this $20 here, it's only available for another 6 days, so they might get me. They might get me. But again, going through and just looking at all of the resources that you get for $20 right here is actually a pretty good value. It's probably better than the value of what I bought with the pack of the Valentine's Day. So there were also some other packs that seemed like a pretty good value. If you go in here to featured and then like daily adventure, they do have quite a few different packs separated all over the place. But normal clear package, For $19.99, you get a lot of stamina, a lot of gold, a lot of rubies, and then you get a champion. I think that this is a legendary hero. So you're guaranteed a legendary, which is almost the same as 60 pulls, sort of, because you're guaranteeing you're hitting pity right away. But that is actually a pretty good value. On the hard clear, I think we're at $30 there, but you get some rate up summons, and I think you also get a legendary hero at the end. So there are some other packs in here that might make sense depending on your spending habits. But I think I've probably done enough damage recently, so I'm going to sit tight on the money there. But I'm going to pick up some of these rare mastery stones just so that I can work on my Morgan. Probably just max this out, get all 60. I have 15,000. This may be a mistake. There's other things in here that probably would benefit my account, specifically looking at some of the crafting stuff for gear, because that's probably the biggest opportunity on my account is gear. I'm not sure how often these reset, but we've purchased all the pedestals, purchased all these guys, so we'll keep on keeping on there. But I've been plowing through the Forbidden Dungeon pretty good with the new strategy with Morgan slowing people down. Now she's going to do an extra 15%, which is even better. So I could probably even do better than that. But we're going to go straight into K before we make any other weird decisions. We're going right here, and we're going to get her chivalry right up to, I think, level 3. Should be pretty good. So we got the nimble steps. What do we get here? Using skill charges. So it's starting to charge her attack gauge with even the second chivalry here. Nimble steps grant self crit damage increase for the rest of the battle, so that's going to be helpful as well. We really want to get into her evasion stats and then specifically onto the Golden Boar's Resolve. That's really where she steps up and to become a whole new champion. So we're going to press on her, try to get all the way to that level 8 soon. We're only 2 away from being, and then 1 pull. So we got basically another 2 chivalries right on deck waiting. So hopefully we can get those soon. That'd be a pretty big win. But I think that's what I got for you today. I appreciate you sticking with me all the way to the end. If you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel, please do so. It means the world to me, and I look forward to seeing you next time.